Good day and welcome back to our video recorded lecture. Still here in PA 118 Politics and Administration. Okay, so at this point, we will be moving on now to another lesson, and this will be about now the executive direction, bureaucratic autonomy, and administrative neutrality. Okay, so before we begin, I want you to think of one very simple question. Okay, how powerful is the president over the bureaucracy? Okay, well, practically, pag sinabi po nating President of the Philippines or the President of the Republic of the Philippines, Chief Executive siya. He is the highest ranking official in terms of, how we know it. Kahit na ang sinasabi ng Constitution ay um, co-equal body po niya ang legislative at ang judiciary. Okay? Now, the president is the head of the executive branch. So perhaps yun yung immediate na sagot po ninyo, no? Na kung sir, kung executive branch naman po yan, practically the president controls everyone under the executive branch. And well, tama po kayo. Okay? That is partly correct. Pero bakit partly lang, sir? Okay? Because one of the things we will discover in this lesson is that political authority over the bureaucracy is not absolute. No? The president has constitutional powers to direct the bureaucracy. That's yes. And at the same time, the Constitution deliberately protects certain institutions and public servants from excessive political interference. Okay? And that creates one of the most important tensions in public administration. No? How do we make the bureaucracy responsive to an elected president without turning the bureaucracy into a personal or political machinery of whoever happens to occupy Malacanang? No? So that's gonna be our problem for today. So just to set the direction of our lesson, okay, ang pag-uusapan po natin ay composed of four parts, no? The first one would be the executive direction. Okay, dito we will try to distinguish presidential control from presidential supervision. You have to take note that in public administration and even in management, control and supervision are two big different words. Okay? And pag-uusapan din po natin yung tinatawag nating doctrine of qualified political agency. Okay? Pangalawa, okay, career versus non-career service. Here, we will try to answer bakit may government officials na pwedeng mawala kapag nagpalit na po ng administration. In some books, it is said to be coterminous. Okay? Yan yung mga status natin ng employment sa pamahalaan. We have the permanent, coterminous, contractual, contract of service, job order, at marami pang iba. Pag-usapan po natin yan. Okay? Now, pangatlo, yung tinatawag po nating administrative neutrality. Okay? What does it actually mean for a bureaucracy to remain politically neutral? Okay? At ang panghuli pong pag-uusapan natin dito sa video recorded lecture na ito is that the comparison between bureaucratic autonomy and administrative neutrality. No? So, my dear friends, I am sincerely asking that you please pay particular attention to the last distinction because autonomy and neutrality may sound familiar, but they are not the same thing. Okay? And by the end of this lecture, I will also give you simple three-question framework that you can answer whenever you encounter a controversy involving the president and the bureaucracy. Okay? For the intended learning outcomes, for this lesson, it corresponds now to course outcome number 2, which requires you to analyze the structures, powers, and limits of the executive direction over bureaucracy. Okay? So by the end of this discussion, you should be able to do three things. Number one, for you to analyze the executive's role in directing bureaucratic action in the Philippines. Pangalawa po, you should be able to distinguish bureaucratic autonomy from administrative neutrality. And lastly po, no, to evaluate cases involving political direction and bureaucratic independence. Okay? Please notice the verbs we are using here because these are salient. I am not asking you to simply define. It's not just about identification. We are using now analysis, no? You have to distinguish and you have to evaluate. Okay? So when I assess you later on, okay, I am not simply interested in whether you memorized Article 7, Section 17 of the Constitution. Rather, I want you to know whether when I give you an actual situation, you can determine whether or not the action of the president is legal. Does he have control over this one? Supervision ba to? Is the employee protected? Or may security of tenure ba siya? Okay? So that is now the level of thinking I wish you could achieve as we go through with our lesson. Okay? So before we move on to the discussion, I want you to answer these three questions mentally. Okay? No need to submit anything yet. Wala muna. This is just like a pre-assessment. Okay? So first question. Can the President of the Philippines fire or reassign any government employee at his will? No? Sa kanyang kagustuhan ba, pwede siyang maglipat or magtanggal ng empleyado? Okay, pag-isipan po natin ang ating mga sagot. Okay? Yes or no? And more importantly, bakit? Bakit yes ang sagot mo? Bakit no ang sagot mo? Okay? Pangalawa, what is the difference between a cabinet secretary and an ordinary rank and file government employee when it comes to job security? Okay? At pangatlo po, at huli po nating sasagutin, have you heard of a government employee who was transferred, suspended, reassigned, or removed allegedly because of politics? Siguro dahil nagpalit si mayor, no? Kaya po natanggal, nalipat, nasuspende yung government employee, or kaya si governor natanggal or napalitan, kaya nagpalit na ng presidente, no? Then suddenly, may mga tao na pong biglang naililipat, no? Our question here in public administration is not simply whether that happens, okay? Our question is about what political direction is legitimate and when does it become unlawful political interference. So please alalahanin niyo po itong mga question na ito sapagkat ito po yung ating focus for this video recorded lecture, no? Okay, so we proceed now with our actual discussion, the presidential power of control and supervision. Hanggang saan nga ba yung abot ng kapangyarihan ng isang pangulo sa ilalim ng ehekutibo? Okay? At hanggang saan po yung hangganan na ito? Okay? So we proceed with the major concept, okay? And these two powers are actually enshrined in the Constitution, and these two powers have different reaches. Okay? So we have control and supervision. Kadalasan sa mga normal po at ordinaryong mga tao, ang control at supervision ay pareho lamang. Subalit po para sa ating mga public administration scholars, ito po ay may malaking pinagkaiba. Okay? Sa ilalim po ng Article 7, Section 17 of the 1987 Constitution, the President has control of all executive departments, bureaus, and offices. The important word here is control. Ano nga ba kasi ang ibig sabihin po ng control? Kung ang basihan po natin ay ang saligang batas. Okay? When you say control in simple terms, meaning a superior authority may alter, modify, nullify, set aside, or substitute his or her own judgment for the judgment of a subordinate. Ibig sabihin po niyan, pag may mas mababa sa kanya, pwede po niyang palitan, baguhin, no? I-reject yung desisyon ng nasa ibaba sa kanya. Okay? Simple example. Suppose an official within the executive department decides, Mr. President, ito po ang i-implement natin. Option A po tayo. If that official is legally subject to presidential control, the president may essentially say, "No, I disagree. We will implement option B." So ibig sabihin, may control siya over that person who suggested the implementation of option A. That is possible because control includes authority to substitute judgment. Okay? Malinaw po yan ha? Mabalin nga baliwan iti presidente, iti desisyon, dahil nga he has the control over the bureaucracy. Okay? Gamin isugarot iti kangatuan. So to make it simple, isunat masurot. Oray ada ti recommendation mo. Akas pangarigan ko ma. Okay? The MDRRMO proposed or recommended, no? The NDRRMC recommended na pumasok na tayo dahil okay naman na ang kondisyon. But the president apparently through other reports said na hindi muna, i-suspend muna natin ang klase. So walang magagawa si NDRRMC kundi sumunod because it was already the president who decided, no? There's a substitute judgment already applied upon as against now the recommendation of the NDRRMC. That's power of control, and that's under Article 7, Section 17 of the 1987 Constitution. Now, in comparison with supervision, the president does not exercise the same control over local government units. Under Article 10, Section 4, what the president exercises over LGU is just general supervision. Okay? And supervision is weaker than control. Under supervision, the question is basically, are you performing your duties according to our law? Okay? The supervising authority ensures legal compliance, but generally supervision does not authorize the president to simply replace the lawful judgment of the local government with the president's preferred judgment. So ibig sabihin po niyaan, ang control pwede niyang palitan ang desisyon ng mas mababa sa kanya, subalit ang supervision hindi po pwede. Dapat ang sinasabi lang, sundin mo yung batas. That distinction is really, really important. Okay? Let's have a practical example. Okay? So imagine that an LGU has discretion under the law to choose between program A and program B. The mayor chooses program A. Suppose the president personally prefers program B. Can the president simply say, Mayor, ayoko ng A, gawin mong B because I am the president? The answer, not necessarily. Why? Because the president does not exercise control over the LGU. Ang meron lang sa presidente ay yung tinatawag nating supervision. If program A is lawful and within the LGU's authority, then presidential disagreement by itself does not automatically authorize substitution of judgment. And that is part of what we mean when we talk about local economy. Okay? Another example na mas malapit po. Okay? The NDRRMC through memorandum, what was that ulit? Memorandum Circular 130, yung nag-suspend ng klase po natin noong August 20, Friday. Sabi po doon, if I'm allowed to read, Memorandum Circular 131, upon the recommendation of the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council and in anticipation of continued heavy rainfall associated with the enhanced southwest monsoon, which poses risks of localized flooding and travel hazards, government offices are directed to implement appropriate alternative work arrangements in the National Capital Region and the provinces of Abra, Benguet, Ilocos Norte, Ilocos Sur, La Union, Pangasinan, Bataan, Bulacan, Nueva Ecija, Pampanga, Tarlac, Zambales, Batangas, Laguna, Rizal, and Occidental Mindoro on the 20th of August 2026. Second paragraph, agencies involved in the delivery of basic and health services, preparedness or response to disasters and calamities, and or the performance of other vital services shall continue their operations and render the necessary services. Contract of service or COS and job order workers who are placed under alternative work arrangements shall be paid the corresponding wages or salaries subject to applicable rules and regulations. Okay? Unless otherwise directed by their respective local chief executives, alternative learning modes for classes and learning continuity measures at all levels in public and private schools shall be implemented in the aforementioned. Okay? So, dito, it was the national government, no? Through the office of the executive secretary, which is under the office of the president, announced, no, the alternative work arrangement and of course yung class suspension. Okay? And then si Balawan LGU, sinabi niya, kindergarten lang ang walang pasok, but the rest meron. At papasok lahat ng employee nito. Okay? Pwede bang sabihin ni President na BBM na huwag niyong gawin yan kasi mayroong memo. Malinaw naman yung nakasaad sa memo. At the same time, supervision lang ang meron ang President sa mga LGU. Okay? Now, we proceed with a doctrine. Okay? Para po mas maintindihan po natin ito. Okay? Yan. Yung doctrine of qualified political agency. So the doctrine of qualified political agency may sound complicated, but practically the basic logic is actually straightforward, no? The president cannot personally do everything. Hindi po unlimited ang powers ng presidente. Okay? Yeah, no. So, you try to imagine the size of the Philippine bureaucracy. Hindi naman po pwedeng bawat memorandum ng Department of Health, bawat administrative decision ng Department of Education, at bawat action po ng DILG, lahat kailangan personally pirmahan ng Pangulo. No? The government would become impossible to operate. So, under the doctrine of qualified political agency, the acts of the department secretary performed within the secretary's jurisdiction are generally considered in legal contemplation the acts of the president unless the president disapproves or reprobates them. In simpler terms, the cabinet secretary functions as alter ego of the president within their respective departments. Okay? That is why executive direction can operate through a massive bureaucracy without requiring the president to personally perform executive actions. Okay? So, tandaan po natin, okay, na hindi kaya ng Pangulo na pamahalaan ang lahat ng mga opisina, kaya nagtatalaga po tayo ng mga cabinet secretaries po natin. Ito po yung Secretary of Health, Secretary of Justice, Secretary of Education, which isisingit ko na po ngayon, you are required to actually know them kasi po it might be part of the quiz. And this might be part also of my assessment kung talagang inaabot po ninyo yung video recording ko dito sa part na to. So, I am saying it outright. Please memorize, okay, the members of the cabinet of the current administration because it may form part as your quiz, okay? At nabanggit ko po ito sa recording na to. So there's no excuse na hindi ko alam or hindi naman sinabi ni sir because I am saying it outright just to check whether or not pinapanood nyo talaga yung aking video recording. Okay? Moving forward po tayo sa konsepto naman po ng local autonomy and the limits of the presidential authority. Okay? So, malinaw no sa Article 10 of our Constitution under local government na mayroong local autonomy ang mga LGU. Okay? The Philippine jurisprudence recognizes the presidential authority over LGUs is supervisory only and not controlling. Even when national officials exercise delegated presidential authority, for example, no, through the Department of Interior and Local Government, the exercise of that authority must remain within statutory and constitutional limits. So this should be your first takeaway here. Never use control and supervision as synonyms in public administration. They have different legal meanings, and more importantly, they produce different legal consequences. Okay? Now, as we transition to the next part of our lesson, I want to pose this question. Okay? And perhaps pwedeng tanong din po ninyo ito sa akin. Sir, the president has control over executive departments. So ibig sabihin ba ito because may control ang pangulo, pwede niyang tanggalin lahat ng empleyado sa executive branch? That could be an excellent question. And the answer is hindi po. Because control over an office does not automatically mean unlimited authority over the tenure of every person working inside the office. And that brings us now to the next second topic, which is career versus non-career civil service. Bakit kaya no some officials serve at the president's pleasure and the others cannot be removed without a cause? Okay, pag-usapan po natin 'yan. Okay. So, um, you might be wondering, ano ba yung career and non-career positions po na yan? Okay. The Philippine Civil Service is broadly divided into two categories, the career and non-career service. Unahin po natin yung career service. Career positions are fundamentally based on merit and fitness. Usually, no, the entry involves competitive examination, eligibility, professional qualifications, or highly technical qualifications. Example, okay, it may include many rank and file positions and positions within the career executive service. And one of the most important protections attached to career service is yung tinatawag nating security of tenure. Okay? When you say security of tenure, a career employee cannot simply be removed because a new political administration dislikes him or her. Ibig sabihin po niyan, nung nagbaliw iti administration ti LGU, haan ka basta-basta nga ikaten, gaputa sa bali iti sinuportaam di eleksyon. Okay? Yun po yun. So, removal, but pwede ka pa rin matanggal. Kaya nga lang, the removal must be for cause provided by law, accompanied by required due process. Okay? Secured ang tenure mo laban sa pagpapalit ng administration. That means hindi ka pwedeng matanggal sa position just because nag-iba ang administration, but pwede kang matanggal because of other reasons na illegal or yung mga violative of administrative, civil, and criminal cases. Okay? Now, if we try to compare it with non-career service, these positions, okay, are generally associated with political, confidential, policy determining, or coterminous relationships. For example po dito ay mga cabinet secretary. Automatic po na kapag nagpalit ng liderato, okay, o nagpalit ng presidente, there would be major changes or transition of leadership over the cabinet. Okay? When a president appoints a department secretary, that secretary is expected to carry out the political and policy agenda of the administration. Okay? So kapag nagbago ang administration, it's very normal na makikita nating nagbabago rin po or nagkakaroon ng mga bagong appointees. Okay? That is fundamentally different from an ordinary career employee. So bakit tayo merong parehas? Okay, for example, sa akin, yung item ko, yung position ko is a career service. Okay? Meron na akong security of tenure because I am already a permanent employee. Now, why don't we simply make everyone career? Okay? Or alternatively, why don't we let every president replace everybody? Because either extreme would create problems, no? If absolutely everyone were politically appointed, imagine what would happen every 6 years. Bagong presidente, palitan lahat, no? So ito yung sinasabi nila daw na bagong Pilipinas, bagong mukha, no? Thousands upon thousands of employees might disappear. Gayon din yung tinatawag nating institutional knowledge. Pati na rin yung technical expertise, no? Yung mga programa natin hindi na maitutuloy. So there's a loss, okay? Or our programs lose now continuity, okay? The bureaucracy becomes a massive spoils system. Okay? But the opposite of the extreme is also problematic. No? Suppose every single official were completely insulated from political leadership, then an elected president could win an election based on a particular platform but find himself unable to translate the electoral mandate into administrative action. So ito ay tinatawag nating dual structure. No? Political leadership provides direction and program responsiveness. Career bureaucracy provides continuity, expertise, professionalism, and institutional memory. So that balances everything. Okay? You have to take note as well that there is also one important nuance that we have to take note. No? Yung tinatawag nating career executive service officers or mga CESOs. So some students think, sir, appointed by the president? So ibig sabihin that's a political position. Not necessarily po. Appointment by the president does not automatically mean the position has no security of tenure. Career executive service officers or yung mga may SESO, the SESO 6, SESO 4, SESO 5, may retain security of tenure in their SES rank even when they may be reassigned to another SES position in the interest of service. Again, presidential appointment and career protection may exist and they coexist. That is precisely why you need to analyze the classification of the position rather than merely asking who appointed this person. Okay? Now we proceed with, yeah, yeah. We proceed with the case of administrative neutrality. Okay? So sa part na to, okay, administrative neutrality means that civil servants must execute the law and citizens and serve the citizens impartially. No? Hindi pwedeng sabihin na, dito nga barangay, handap mo nga butos ide, awan ti ayuda da. That's very wrong. Okay? So regardless of their political party, they have to actually serve the people impartially and execute the law justly. No? Now, let me explain something. Neutrality does not mean the government employees suddenly stop being citizens. Hindi naman ganun yon. It does not mean that a civil servant has no political or personal beliefs. Hindi yun yun. It doesn't mean wala na siyang political opinion. What neutrality requires, my dear students, is that the exercise of public office must not become partisan at all. Okay? In other words, you may personally prefer candidate X, but citizen Y appears before your office and you cannot say, supporter ka mat ni Kastoy, damdamakan, una pwede ganyan bimutos ka ni Kastoy. Hindi pwedeng ganon. Okay? That is precisely the behavior administrative neutrality is designed to prevent. No? Political authority belongs to the state and not to a specific political party. Okay? So what are its constitutional anchors just to actually ensure that we are on the same page? Sorry, di ko pa na-move yung slide. Okay. So these are the key constitutional anchors. Okay. Number one is merit and fitness. Nabanggit ko na to last time during kay um, sino na yan? Max Weber and then Wilson and Goodnow. No? Appointments in the civil service should be based on merit and fitness. Okay? Pangalawa, security of tenure. Civil servants cannot simply be removed or suspended except for cause provided by the law. Third, okay, the prohibition against electioneering or partisan political campaigning by civil servants. Pang-apat, the constitutional restriction against certain midnight appointments near the end of the presidential administration. Okay? And panglima, Executive Order number 292 or yung Administrative Code of 1987. So those are the anchors to protect now and of course to actually ensure that this principle is observed. Okay? And what are the common flashpoints naman po tayo? Okay? Kung saan nagkakaroon ng tinatawag nating pamumulitika. Okay? You have to take note that administrative neutrality is easier to state than to maintain. Mas madali po siyang sabihin pero ang hirap po niyang i-achieve or gawin. So, there are several common flashpoints in the government that may actually taint yung tinatawag nating political neutrality. Okay? One is midnight appointments or last-minute personal actions near political transitions. Another is reorganization. Now, please understand that reorganization by itself is not automatically illegal. Government organizations may legitimately need restructuring. The problem arises when reorganization becomes a pretext. Imagine, sabi niya, hindi kita pwedeng tanggalin because protected ka by security of tenure. Fine, sige. Pero ililipat kita nang mawala sa iyo yung opisina mo at yung posisyon mo. If reorganization is being manipulated simply to circumvent constitutional protections, then we have a serious administrative and legal problem. Another flashpoint is political pressure on independent bodies such as yung tatlong constitutional commissions po natin. The Commission on Election, the Civil Service Commission, and the Commission on Audit, as well as yung mga may quasi-judicial functions po natin. Okay. At ang panghuli po ay yung appointment of political allies to positions requiring professional or technical qualifications. So dito papasok yung tinatawag nating politicization of bureaucracy. Okay. Now we proceed with our last part. Okay. The bureaucratic autonomy versus administrative neutrality. Okay. So bureaucratic autonomy is not the same as administrative neutrality. Let me explain something. Bureaucratic autonomy asks the question, how much professional or institutional independence does an agency or bureaucratic actor have from political interference? The focus is primarily on institutional independence and professional judgment. Okay? The next is administrative neutrality. Now, the question here is that, does the civil servant perform official duties impartially regardless of political affiliation? So, the focus is on impartial conduct. Autonomy means freedom from undue or political interference. Ayan. Whereas neutrality means impartiality despite politics. Related? Yes. Identical? Hindi po. Okay. Magbigay tayo ng maraming mga example para po mas maunawaan po natin to. So this is a worked example. Okay. Imagine a rank and file career employee working in an executive department directly subject under yung presidential control. Okay, that's our case. Does the department have complete autonomy from the president? Wala po. Okay? It is more of presidential control or under presidential control. But does that automatically mean that that rank and file position or employee loses security of tenure? Hindi po. The institution may have um, relatively limited autonomy while the individual employee remains protected under civil service rule. Okay? So that is why I don't want you to be answering political control exists, therefore administrative neutrality does not exist. Hindi po ganun lagi yun. Okay? Now we proceed with the three question framework. Ngayon, whenever you encounter an executive bureaucracy controversy, tanungin yung sarili ninyo. Okay? Una, under control or supervision, ano bang klase ng authority ang meron and it was legally being exercised? If it is control, substitution of judgment ay possible. If it is merely supervision, the authority is much narrower. Okay? Now, question number 2. Is it career or non-career? Ano po yung classification ng mga involved parties, no? If non-career and coterminous, then the tenure protections are different. But if it is a career position, then security of tenure becomes crucial. At ang pangatlo pong tanong was due process observed, no? So tignan po ninyo later on doon sa sinasabi ng batas, okay? So I will be giving you once again a case for you to read on para po mas maintindihan po ninyo. Okay, so I think that's just it for my lesson. Okay, so I am ending this now. Yan, natapos din natin ng medyo mas mabilis po. So balikan po ninyo at basahin po ninyo ito because part po ito ng mga assessments po natin later on. Maraming salamat po and goodbye. Please anticipate a short activity on this one.